All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Night Sky Arena Map 2, starting now. What's it called? Previously finishing things off on Haven. Pretty dominant run, although Daybreak did have flashes of brilliance. That's all it was, a flash in the pan. And now Daybreak look to make something out of nothing, looking like they are hovering some pretty interesting compositions. I wonder if they have compositions figured out or if they're just freeballing it. Either way, I'm sure that things will be fun today. I love seeing slow, methodical teams like what's it called, matching up against teams that have a real identity structured around fragging and complete aggressive dominance. And Average is hovering the deadlock? I was about to say, please don't, Average, I will kill you.
Actually, it's funny to see how two different teams are playing two different comps. What's it called is playing a double smokes here with a Viper.
Yeah.
Very good for walls, especially with holding B. Like, very good, like, getting out walls if they try to push A, from what I've seen from other teams play. But then you have Daybreak just having a very aggro comp with Jet and Raze.
And it just goes to show, you know, what type of teams these are. It really does. Oh, it's broken still.
Not gonna lie, it'd be kind of funny if one of these teams were to play the China comp from XLG, the triple Senti. I would laugh if someone played that comp here in this tournament.
No charges.
Yeah, looks like we still have tech issues. It's okay though.
Go, go, go.
Kicking things off. What's it called? Aggression over towards B main. Mason gonna be that solo hold, but animated, opening this door, pushing the pace. Penalty and Carp answering back. Reality getting the trade, evening things out.
Reality is just holding Seaside. He is not letting him on.
Solo on C, but does call from backup. Mason rotating back over. It's like even Average sprinting over to the C site. A little bit indecisive. B-door gonna be popped, putting a little bit of pressure that rotations may have come through, but what's it called? Sticking over towards Mound. Even Mason falling off of the C side yet again, leaving Reality alone. Pot shots taken, damage done onto Reality. Looks like Carp checking the flank very thoroughly. Abdul still has Spike over towards Mound. Gonna put a pause on this timer. They know what type of team Daybreak is, but Daybreak still showing us a new look. Very, very patient on the C side, just holding these angles. And Mason now, a little bit of the jitters comes through. They get anxious and they actually leave the C site. Any chance into this round that they might have had might have just been blown. Reality misses his eye. The completely free C site.
Actually, Reality is going back to C Hall here, but will they catch him?
Right. Instead of being proactive and pushing out and clearing space, they're just rotating all over the place. A little bit of a strange decision. Fight gonna go down from Abdul.
Push up. Might get Mason here.
It's not. No, instead Mason. Clean shot onto Carp, hits the headshot. Last one left alive. Abdul versus the world.
Indeed, 13 HP. It is a dream. He could have it here.
And Mason with the run and gun. Takes the pistol for Daybreak. It's a good start into it.
Indeed. It was surprising to see Reality just giving up the site, but they did get it back after getting him really low in the beginning.
Outlaw gonna be brought up for that Jet player.
Indeed, Mason is crazy with his shots. And I'm guessing he is crazy with his sniper shots too here. He might get 3 here. Rain and Reality are doing the nade and the C's, but it doesn't get anyone.
Exec onto the B side. Viswell gonna be triggered, but Sliz running in alone. Gonna find Animated sleeping at the wheel immediately. A gun gonna be found. Spam shots come in. Rain, no regard paid. Gonna blocked by that wall. Spike's gonna be planted by penalty yet again. Rain with the first onto Abdul, but things still getting dangerous. Sliz with the Bulldog. Carp gonna be caught by Mason. Dash comes through and Sliz finds Mason. Average. The wall bang onto Argini. Rain jumps straight up, but Sliz yet again. He has 3, and he might just have to find 2 more if he wants any chance in this round. Reality on 1 HP. Defuse gonna be tapped by Average. Carp with the outlaw shots are good. 1 round for what's it called? Even better than the pistol. Right away, we're seeing why they put Sliz on the Neon over the Raze. I would expect most teams to want to play a Raze on Lotus, but Sliz just knows his way around his Neon mechanics. 3 kills, didn't even find a single one during the pistol round, and I had some doubts for sure, but it was way too early for that. Robo fight gonna come through. 3 for what's it called, all 5 for Daybreak. Eye goes through. Ring gonna be caught out, but continues pushing. Sliz finds 2 right off the bat. Reality totally in the corner.
Argini. But Argini gets the pig 4 slits there.
Molly gonna stall animated out, forcing him to re-explore his options, pushing through heaven. Paranoia gonna go through for a little bit of stalling out a retake that is not going to come through anytime soon. And Argini finds 2. Closing this round out.
Yeah.
Right. What's it called? Had a pretty clean round. It's what you want to have on what would be your anti-eco. Or it really was your anti-eco, because what's it called kind of reset the status quo by winning their eco.
Indeed, Daybreak is kind of pushing their econ here, but they're trying to get around in.
Right, and this outlaw for Carp still gonna be good. Sliz keeping this Bulldog. He's been incredible with it so far. Nade gonna come out and what's it called? Immediately taking control of A site, pivoting over to B. Want to take control of B, make sure that there are no gaps. But what's it called? They're gonna make sure they can actually get past this fight. Daybreak might have fallen off too fast. Reality, the shot onto Sliz is good. Finds a second on the penalty, but fine. Before Argini finally gets the trade onto Reality. Now, 3 versus 4. What's it called? Playing it slow. Daybreak still have the read. Top of the orb for Argini. Not gonna be caught. Mason slowly creeping in breakable. Wants to find this angle. Just doing his best not to die. Almost finds Argini. But still. Comes out alive. Early Paranoia going to be expended here from Animated. Harp all the way in tree. Argini finds Mason causing a distraction. Rain might walk into the smoke. Carp and Rain are back to back. Oh my god. And Rain walks into the smoke and gets out alive. What's it called? Answers obvious all of a sudden. Pivoting straight into the B site. Gonna get the spike down. Argini on 1 HP. Abdul gonna have to be the saving grace into this round. It's a 3 versus 2. Argini and Abdul wasting no time being proactive.
They are playing really well here together. Abdul is baiting off of Argini since he is 1 HP. But you have Rain and Animated just going through Breakable together. They don't know they're both upper.
Flash goes through. Rain on 1 HP again gets out with his life intact. Abdul finds the first one to average, but Rain sticking that spike and gets off just in time. Rain, the hero of round number 4, pushing through smoke on 1 HP, completely dry, finding Carp sleeping at the wheel. You thought you had a gap? No, Rain is there.
Indeed, Rain is the Lord and Savior for Daybreak here. It is incredible. Rain is just wanting to be the hero of this team. Save after save.
Daybreak resetting back to defaults, realizing that Rebel Fight didn't actually do much. Gonna fight for C Mound instead. Super proactive. Time ticks down. What's it called? Yet again, playing it slow.
Find you.
Smoke goes down on A. What's it called? Plowing through A main. Average gonna hear all the info here. Wall goes through. Vines as well. Another smoke. As if you didn't need any more stall. Dog as well. clearing a little bit of this neutral space. Making sure that they're free to exec onto the B side. Rain forced to back off the line, but Reality gonna rip this Fate ultimate. And Mason has a free pick with the Stinger in heaven. Animated finds 2 before Cart puts him in the dirt. Rain, a little bit of a whiff, but Reality saves the day. Abdul somehow puts it into a 2 versus 1. He would have to go absolutely nuclear if he wants to find this round. I gonna confirm what they already knew. Holding a high-low in Reality. Reaction time is good. 3rd round for Daybreak, and they are ahead. What's it called? Gonna have to find some answers soon.
Indeed, yeah. What's it called? Just might be slipping here. They're just letting Daybreak slip through their fingers.
Right, and Daybreak just have their number right now, to be honest. They're doing a lot of really good stuff. They're being super proactive. First off, fighting for that mound space, as we're about to see here into round number 5, or into round number 6, sorry. But even then, while they're being proactive, the retakes are just incredible. I gonna go through. Mound fight not gonna make much noise here. Ominalt gonna go through straight into stairs. Argini, an absolute madman. Average, unbeknownst to him, absolutely isolated on site. Sliz, though, caught sleeping by Average. And now he has the read. Mason slipping through heaven. Smokes are gonna go down. Average creeping on this corner. Flash gonna go through, but Average completely blind. Penalty and Abdul clearing this site out. Reality, Fade gonna go through. Not gonna get much for that one. Prowler goes through. Rain pops this ultimate. Here's one creeping around on site. Abdul not gonna be found. Smoke going down on stair, but Rain still on site. Argini dispatches him. Only Animated and Reality left. Scratch that, just Animated. Carp finds the kill and then immediately backs off. He's playing it smart for sure.
He is playing his life here. Carp is playing really well.
It's a lot of pressure for Animated to have to deal with. Knowing that there's someone on the flank, and even now you can see him going back to check the flank, and Carp isn't even anywhere near him. Carp is just making sure that he stays alive. He's all the way on C site. Animated has wasted so much time, and he almost doesn't even have a chance into this round. Door is going to be popped. Evacuating the site, getting out alive. Animated keeping this rifle. It's a little bit of a silver lining.
Indeed, yeah. Daybreak really needs to figure out how to be better with these retakes if they want to get these rounds on what's it called. But they might show it in the end. They might prove to what's it called that they're not gonna let this happen anymore. I'm sure Daybreak will show.
Right, and speaking of Daybreak, this round switching it up. Want to fight over towards Rebel. Right as they choose to swap it up, what's it called? Magically have the read, rotating back onto mounds, taking this mound space essentially for free.
Face your fear.
Poke gonna get a free exec. Sorry, no. What's it called? Gonna get a free exec onto the C site via the Fate ult. Prowler gonna spot a little bit of valuable information, but nothing that they didn't already know. And Penalty yet again already working towards another Fate ult. Abdul getting ready to pop this Vice ultimate. Omen Paranoia goes through. Animated TP's on site straight into the ultimate. And Average, you can't seriously be thinking of this. Abdul snipes Mason out of the air. Rain takes the angle, but Penalty has the spam. Argini as well helps Penalty find the second Reality. Last one left alive. Yet again, what can you do? What can you show us? I goes out 4 versus 1. Has the angle. Whiffs onto Sliz. Finds the first on Abdul, but Sliz ends the round off 3-4 in favor of what's it called?
Yeah, Mason just tried to run in there as fast as he could. He just tried to run into C. He did not care about the Vice ult whatsoever.
Not
He
at all.
thought he can get 1 or 2 with that Vice ult, but no, he just got shut down right away. What's it called? Did not allow Mason to get any kills.
This time Daybreak switching things up completely. Gonna be a B main fight here. All 4 active utility members over towards B main, pushing out, taking the space, just holding for now. Abdul spots Mason trying to take a little bit of hot shot. Goes in, dashes out, runs away. The sound bait is good. Abdul, you cannot peek into this 3 strong.
There.
For Daybreak, Mason yet again sound baiting, running away. But Abdul still suspicious. Reality has this angle and he might just be good for it. And Abdul finds the kill, gets out alive, albeit 1 HP. Nade for a little bit of extra stall. Mason comes back for more. Door gonna be popped. You surely can't think of staying around now. Sliz gonna open this door, immediately fall back to C Mound. Looks like they do want to end A on this round. Carp has walked up all the way onto A. Somehow he's gotten past this Vise wall. No, he hadn't. Actually, he tripped it. And Average is gonna have the read, but nobody on Daybreak is wisened up to it. Fade Prowler gonna go through. Tree. Plant about to go through as well. Carp trying to stall Mason out. Here's the sound cue. Abdul's 1 HP. Decides to just back off. Viper gonna go through. Paranoia expended. Argini finds Average as Abdul finds Animated. Daybreak's chance is gone before they could even start. Rain plunging himself into this Viper's pit. Mason with the smoke trying to get some damage, but Rain, only one for Daybreak who can manage to find anything. Penalty ends the round off 35 in favor of what's it called Daybreak. Just as they started, they can't seem to get back on their feet. They cannot seem to retain this momentum. It's like what's it called is in complete control of the flow of this game.
Indeed, yeah. Daybreak could have had a chance if they really pushed up on B main. They really could have gotten Abdul down if they just went for it. But no, they were just playing it safe. They were waiting for Abdul to push them, but unfortunately the read was not correct on their part.
3 men strong for Daybreak on this fight. Over towards Robo. Carp gonna hear it all. Breakable gonna be broken. NOT and Abdul walking up B main. Pressuring this essential little bit of space, spots the wall out, wants to trip it. Rain catches Penalty as he does trip it, gonna get away alive. Thorn's gonna go through. A little bit of extra stall, not gonna do much, however. No one is on the B site. Instead, Sliz and Argini have walked up all the way on to C Mound. We're gonna hear these Thorns for Average, and we're gonna have to deal with those if they want to get anything at all. Probably gonna spot out 1, maybe keeping 2 over towards A for Daybreak. Keeping the C site weak. Average jiggling. Does not know that Sliz is actually past the angle. Spots Argini, unaware that Sliz has walked straight onto site. Gets straight past the vine. C is going to go through. And all of a sudden, Average isolated alone on site. And he has no idea. Sliz, the backline warrior, breaks C site wide open. But Animated has found a gap. Where there's a will, there's a way. An extra pick equalizing on this round. But Carp,
30 seconds.
they weren't
left.
aware at all. Sliz finds a second onto Rain. Theta gonna go through, clearing out this waterfall space. Animated around this angle, has the read, finds the head tap onto Sliz. Animated, you're gonna have to keep going. Go big or go home. Prowler spots out the first. Reality, 1-man army misses yet another eye into this round. Fade Prowler catches 1. Animated is left with a gap to exploit. And where there's a will, where there's a way, taps the spike. Argini throws a smoke, is not ready for it. Animated, 3 to the round. Reality finds Penalty, and Carp finds the trade. Animated, you're gonna have to go nuclear, puts his head down, taps the spike. Carp with the headshot straight through the smoke, finds a 6th round for what's it called Animated. It doesn't matter how much of a Terminator you are.
Carp will always. Carp is the king.
Carp just has the head angle there. Doesn't even matter if Animated puts his head down. Still going to be found on the defuse. 3 into the round, and if Animated keeps performing like this, yes, dare I say, Daybreak may have a chance, but Animated is going to have to go berserk like he did map 1, and like we have seen him do in the past. Reality with 9 kills, however, leading the charge so far on this initiation, and yet another mound fight. Calling is definitely simple. Reality, 1 shot, 1 eye break. Sliz and Argini stalled out over towards Mound. Daybreak just keeping control of the space. Reality wanting to fall off just a little bit. Mason all the way out into B main. Paranoia and an eye expended, taking C main. It's painfully obvious what's it called want to do. Average yet alone, the solo hold, but the eye is not going to spot him somehow. Average does break the Omen ult. In exchange, they do have the information. Penalty finds the first onto average, finds a quick double onto Mason. And Animated somehow gotten through the flank. And Rain just wants to delay a little bit, doesn't want to give away Animated's master play here. Abdul gonna get this plant down. Reality all the way in spawn. I gonna go through. Not gonna find anything. Penalty finds Animated, flank dead. No point in stalling Rain. You're all the way behind. How are you gonna find any value? Just wants to regroup with Reality. No big deal. Paranoia comes through and Sliz fighting quick. Finds Reality. Rain, last one left alive. What can you do? Can you even get one? Yes, you can, but Sliz puts it into the round 3-7 for what's it called? Daybreak have no answers. And please, for the love of God, call a timeout. Daybreak, call a timeout.
Just thinking. Daybreak really needs to take the timeout here. They're down. They are so down. They just keep ruining. They just keep ruining their econ.
Right, it's a vicious cycle of force up, save, over and over. No answers to be had.
No. You would think with how much they are just getting slammed, they would just take a timeout, but they're just gonna keep it going. They don't want to stop.
Through, immediately gonna be broken. Both of the Lurk agents, Carp and Abdul, over towards C. Just want to make sure that none of the space is free. On the other side of the map, what's it called? Three strong, Argini, Sliz, Penalty working up on the A site. Know that average plays here solo, just looking to abuse that a little bit. However, Carp and Abdul do have the spike, so this looks like it's going to be a 3-man fake. Average just juggling this angle, wants to get early information before his wall can. Wall's going to be tripped before Average can even get the angle. A wall going to go out, as well as the thorns. Causing Animated to rotate back over. Wants to Omen ult just for a little bit of information. Only a madman would stick this one. Doesn't even find anything, but the break isn't going to go through. Causes Animated and Mason to rotate back over to A. Actually, no, just Mason just wants to help. The fake wasn't very successful. I say, as Rain and Reality fall off of C. Rain seems to have a little bit of a spider sense, but it's too late. 1 HP already, the nade for a little bit of stall, but it's not even going to matter. Fatal going to go through. Reality right away, ripping his in response, does not want to let what's it called get anything. And what's it called? We're left with 20 seconds on the clock and no answers to be had. They're gonna have to re-execute. Stun goes through, Eye goes through, straight on the side. Sliz finds the open arm to Mason. Abdul finds Reality. One on site, Rain forced to fall off. Door's gonna be popped, Animated, trying to find something, anything. Abdul finds Average and it's a 2 versus 4. What are you even meant to do? Rain finds the first. Abdul gets the trade. Animated, last one left alive. 1 HP. No shots to be had. No rounds to be found. 3-8. What's it called? Have the number. Have the answers. Daybreak can't do anything against it. It's suppressive. It's downright suppressive.
Indeed. Rain should have popped his ult earlier in the round.
Right?
He should have just popped. He was scared, but he
100%.
2 or 3. He could have had 2 or 3 there in Cubby in the bend area, but no, he just waited too long to pop it and use it.
And dare I say, there's no point in expending that fatal if you're not willing to put the raise ult, if you're not ready to put the raise ult into it right away. And now Rain doesn't even have the raise ult. This is the big round, just a Guardian. Mason has an opener on Penalty in spawn. What are you meant to do? 2 walking up rubble. Yet again, Viper and Vise want to work this space a little bit. They still have the read. Average is alone in tree. Reality rotating back over a little bit. At the same time, Sliz and Argini walking up on the mountains. Rain, the solo anchor. Can you go big or go home? And he goes straight home. Head tap not found. Utility expended in response. Folding from no pressure at all. Finds one. Sliz forced to back off. Soundbait a little bit. Nade comes through. Mason rotates over. Spike still in spawn though. Good angle, Mystic. 2 in mounds and Spike still leaning towards A side, but Daybreak not folding any rotations at all. Fight's gonna be had and Sliz finds 2! Ryan and Mason fall and immediately the answer's obvious. C side wide open. What's it called? With the Spike rotating over Daybreak, you're not gonna be able to beat him. What can you even find into this round?
No. And Slits here's fade up in hall. Maybe one more.
Neon and Vise both with their ultimates.
Yeah,
This is downright suppressive. Yeah, Sliz.
Popping all.
Neon ult comes out. Gonna be revealed by this Fade Hunt. Reality finds Sliz, peeks through the smoke. Abdul popped this Faisal already, didn't find much. Smoke goes down onto the spike, animated, a tap. Finds the first on Abdul, clean shot, but nothing left, nothing to show for it. Argini with the 3K, 3-9. What's it called? An absolutely dominant half. And you have to be downright delusional to believe that Daybreak even have a chance into this map if they don't turn things around, if they don't stop over-rotating, if they don't stop overheating, if they don't start playing together. It's a team game, god dang it. Poke timer.
Indeed. Daybreak really needs to start playing together here or they're just gonna keep losing.
Right. Seems like they have forgotten that they have to play together. If you want to win, you have to stick together. If you want to win, you have to stop folding to no pressure. And now on their attacker side, hopefully it could make unifying easy. It could make grouping together and hitting a site the obvious move, especially with double duelists. You have the Jet, you have the Raze, you have the Fade, you have some great execution utility. You just have to actually find your way onto site. You have to show us something that you haven't showed us before. Daybreak have not proven that they can successfully work the map. At least not like what's it called can. What's it called have the entire game plan centered around working the map. You know, they have Carp, they have Abdul up in C mound, up in A rubble, up in B main all the time, while the rest of the fight is taking engagements and being proactive. What's it called always has at least 2 lurks, taking map space somewhere else, while Daybreak has just not shown that they have that forward withdrawal. In fact, Average on the Killjoy last map could not stop going with his team for 5-man hits. There was not much lurking. Granted, he was on the Killjoy, which is not exactly a working lurk agent, but there still needs to be a little bit of lurking in there if you're going to be on the Sentinel agent. And you can't just 5-man hit. And if they 5-man hit on this map, if they don't work the map successfully, if they don't draw rotations from what's it called, and if they don't get picks and get orbs, they're not going to be able to have any forward progress into this map. It's 3-9. It's not exactly the most doom and gloom scoreboard we've ever seen. We've definitely seen worse. In fact, we've seen worse during the playoffs of this very tournament.
The 3-9 curse might come into this play here for Daybreak. They might get it up. We'll have to see here. Who for Mason? Incredible two for him. Pushing onto site onto B, trying to find a third.
Toxin screen down.
The pinch up into Link.
Harp, a nice shot onto Average, not gonna find the next on the rain. Now, only one left alive. Abdul versus the world. You've been good, but this would be a step too far to be able to find this round. 4 left. Abdul navigating this pretty well. Rain peeks out, gives him a free kill. And they're still isolated, animated up in heaven. Abdul has a little bit of a read into this one. Almost finds a second, but animated is just too good to fall for that. Another pistol for Daybreak.
Indeed. Yeah, that was kind of scary with Rain just giving one to Abdul there. You need to swing together in these kind of situations. It might be a 1v4 situation, but you still have to play together. And it seems like Mason is going to try to lurk up on A, see if he can get a pick or two. But what's it called is going to do an aggro push. They're going to stop Mason here. They're going for Mason.
Tripping this wall right away. Can't get past it. Argini and his team. Argini and friends, you could say. On the 4-man flank. Abdul isolated on site, doing his absolute best. Finds one. But Mason gets the trade. Honestly, his door is going to be open. Penalty putting that pressure. Rain immediately nullifying it. But there's still people over towards Mound. But Animated has the read straight in the angle. Catches what's it called? Sleeping at the wheel. Door going to be opened again. Daybreak still hunting like a pack of hungry wolves. Only one left alive. Penalty would have to do the impossible here, and he's going for an EWC. He wants to get the ninja defuse. Average has spotted him, putting an end to the plan before it can even happen, but Penalty still gets the kill. And now, Daybreak forced to fall back onto the site. Mason gets the kill at least. Nothing else happens. A little bit of body spam. It's definitely warranted. What's it called? Look, absolutely god dang down to earth dominant on this map. Daybreak found the first 2 rounds, and now they're gonna have to go even farther. This bonus is absolutely essential if you want to find anything at all into this map, into this series, in this tournament. You're gonna have to win this next round.
Yeah, that pinch was really good, but they just needed to check that box. They didn't check their corner. It was scary. It was surprising. But Animated just ended up being with the 2.
Mason finds Sliz, a first pick, much needed first pick. Seas goes through, but Average gets Argini before any follow-up can happen. Penalty forced to fall off the angle, finds one on the rain. Reality gets the trade. Carp, Unbreakable, taking a fight he shouldn't be taking. He has no business dying to that. Average, with the saving grace. Pop Store has the spike, gonna get this plant down. Harp, or Abdul, sorry, last one left alive yet again. Like I've said before and will say many times again, you've been good, but this would be too damn much. Peeking around these angles, clearing them out slowly. Mason in heaven. Average holding this angle. A little bit of a whiffed shot, but not gonna matter. Information garnered, information gained. Abdul slowing it down as much as possible. Average jiggling, keeping Abdul trapped in the same position. Abdul wants to get a little bit more aggressive. Average just taunting, but it's not even gonna matter. Abdul almost makes a go of things. That was scary shots. Abdul's activated for just a moment. I saw a flash of brilliance. And those of you watching at home, I bet that you can definitely guess why what's it called is so scary. These individual plays, individual brilliance, especially from someone as incredible and dominant as Abdul so far in this tournament. He's had an incredible run. It's just not gonna matter. It doesn't matter if what's it called can't get things going. Right? 3 rounds, no reason to overreact, but Mason immediately, maybe he does give us a reason to overact. Finds the first on to Sliz. Penalty does push straight through the smoke, immediately nullifies all of this pressure. But Animated finds Penalty as he does try and take a timing. Average finds Argini, shuts it down completely. More body spam behind this wall. Abdul finds Rain on the seaside. Razorvine gonna be destroyed. Abdul knows what's going on, still just has a sheriff, wants to take a little bit of a pot shot, gonna activate this ultimate. He believes in himself, and if he believes in himself, you know it's god dang scary. And there's only one on site. Animated might just be found if he's not good for it. Average, low HP, you gotta be careful. Carp is still in the flank. Abdul finds Animated on site. Carp forced to back off, just gonna use the snake bite, a little bit of extra stall. Just enough time for Abdul to get off of this site. Carp, last one on flank, finds one, might just find 2, but no, Mason is good for 1 versus 2, and dare I say, this is goddamn doable. Abdul, last one left alive. And yet again, 3rd round in a row. If you don't go big here, you might just go home. Abdul, this is the best chance he's had. You have a rifle, flash goes through. Mason gonna get this plant down. No time to ult max, no time to be efficient. Average and Mason immediately falling back into tree. Just want to play it smart, but little do they know Abdul is immediately wrapped around, rotated. Mason gets out barely alive. Abdul taps the spike, gets the flash out. Average, a little bit of a jiggle. Abdul slowly clearing these angles, almost find the first, but Mason! 3 in the round, and a 4th round and a half for Daybreak. 7-9. Slowly crawling their way back in this map. It's impressive. Daybreak have turned an entire new leaf. Dominance on their attacker half.
Indeed. The high-low from Average and Mason was pretty good to get Abdul there. They were just waiting for Abdul to swing them. But unfortunately, Abdul was not good enough to get him. As much as he's having his good saves, it just wasn't that round for him.
And this time, what's it called? Is too scared to even get proactive here. Penalty just holding this angle. But Mason is just gonna peek out straight under the angle, but Wall's gonna nullify any pressure that he might have created. Eye goes through as well, gonna be broken. Fade Prowler goes through on B, clears out the close space. Argini still back in C Hall. Animated, slowly wrapping around these angles. Fade Prowler gonna clear. No! Fade Prowler does not catch Mason. He has a timing on the A site. Wall's gonna go down. Penalty still a little bit wary. Mason, a little bit of a whiff shot. Penalty capitalizes immediately. Daybreak 4, rotating over towards the C site. However, there is a monster lurking in the darkness. Abdul still on the C site. Animated information onto A. A little bit of extra pressure keeps 2 over towards A. However, there are 2 still on the C side. Reality, Rain getting this execute. Flash causes Abdul to not be able to get anything, and Reality just absolutely dominates them. A monster lurking in the darkness. No, Reality's in plain sight. Animated finds Argini, teleports out of any immediate danger. Sliz on 1 HP. Animated gives him a 1, gives him a chance into the round. Penalty is on the flank, and Penalty has the angle, and Rain! An 8th round! What's it called? Have no chance, and Daybreak! Backs against the wall!
Daybreak said they are putting a stop to, what's it called?
100% Daybreak are a train. They're off the rails right now. What's it called? Conductor nowhere to be found. Absolutely no stop to this madness. Daybreak just plowing on ahead. The people who are most desperate for it are the people who will push for it the most, and Daybreak are god dang desperate into this playoffs, coming in a little bit of redemption. What's it called? Only 1 round away from being tied up. A C-Mountain fight for Sliz and Penalty. I goes out on the C side, but Mason is pushing this pace immediately. Knife's gonna be popped. Fatal gonna come through as well, even though it isn't Nico. Abdul, all he has is a sheriff, probably gonna spot him. What can he find? Nothing. Reality gets the pick. Mason pushing the pace all the way up into heaven, has the outlaw, wants to take the angle one way, blocking him now, blocking his advance. Swaps to the rifle, swaps back immediately, average, good with the rifle. Rain gonna get caught out by Sliz, movement is good. Missed outlaw shot, but Mason gets the trade onto Argini right away, Reality as well. Mason gets his second, only 1 left alive. Sliz with the Spectre is not good for it, and all of a sudden, Daybreak has equalized!
Snack time!
They
Back!
brought it back.
Only brought enough for me.
They're really telling what's it called to sit down, to stop showing off. It's Daybreak's time to show off how, and showing why they deserve to make it into the next game.
There's a new threat entering the server. Sliz on the operator, first time we've seen him this entire series. Wants to pick this defending operator up. Actually, no, it's Mason as well with an operator. I gonna go out, not gonna be broken, instead just opts to hide. Doesn't want to give away his little secret. Sliz holding this angle. Mason might want to take an engagement with him. Animated, holding with average, over in spawn, wants to make sure the B main space belongs to them. A little bit of a prowler goes out from Reality, doesn't get any space, just gonna be backing off the mound space there. Penalty rotating over towards C. Maybe wants to clear this space out. Or Ray's nade going to be expended as well. In fact, the Ray's Boombot will also be expended for absolutely no pressure, basically. It's only kept 2 people there. And Penalty looks like he wants to fall off. And Fade probably going to be spotted over towards B just as quickly as it would over towards C. Reality almost gets killed, but average immediately. But Carp somehow finds 2 in the chaos. Spike goes down in B main, gonna have to be reclaimed. Nobody watching this angle. Operator still not gonna be spotted out. Animated all the way in C hall. Sliz rotating over. Does not have the read though with this operator. Clearing these angles out. Reality tapping the spike, but Animated doesn't find the kill. Sliz with the off is good for it. Mason, last one left alive, and also has the operator gonna be forced to show his hand. Updrafting, playing absolutely crazy. Stun gonna go out as well. Sliz with the shorty, finds a 10th round. What's it called? Just when you thought they were out and down for the count, Daybreak lose track of their own identity. Playing it slow with the operator yielded absolutely no results. Operator got no value. In fact, Sliz with the one who got the operator kill into this round.
Indeed, yeah. Slits knew that Animated was in halls. He knew he was hiding there right under his smoke. He could smell him.
Thanks.
Pings going out on the ice side. Are gonna want a little bit of push here. Engagement taken. Both teams fighting for the space. Mason finds the first onto Sliz. Thorns go out. Penalty inserted in this corner. Not going to be found instead. Mason getting out alive, even getting the pick. As if that wasn't enough. Razor not going to get any value. However, the sight is enough for them. Mason up in heaven holding this one way. Argini immediately walking downstairs. Smoke goes down. Left with silence descending upon the server. It's freeze time. Argini catches a jump spot. Neutral time gonna be broken now. Mason up in heaven yet again. Rain watching his back engagement taken. Carp knows what's going on. Mason smokes, reloads, fakes the back off. Argini finds Rain. Mason finds a third. Another round and finds a fourth. Mason, heroics, 10 to 10. What's it called? You cannot escape.
They cannot escape Daybreak whatsoever. It seems that is just giving up a little bit too much. They're having a little bit of a trouble.
Right, and even whenever they're fighting for it, it isn't much of a fight if you're not actually going to take the space. If you're not even going to push past your own Viper wall. Daybreak just got the space for free. Now, looks like they do want to have a little bit of presence over towards A. Maybe just a Sentinel, maybe nothing. Maybe it's C. 2 holding in spawn, watching for a B push out here. I gonna go out, clearing out mound space, but Rain satcheling up. Reality grabbing this orb. There's a nice crossfire set up on site. Argini as well with the paranoia. If you try an exec here, you might just be in trouble. But no, they're not going to slow down. They're going to push the pace as much as possible. Argini with a double average tries to find something, anything, but Abdul makes sure nothing going to be found. Reality finds the first, almost finds the second, but penalty puts an end to it. What's it called? 11th round on the board in this half with the thrifty. And Daybreak, that's what I was talking about. If they're just going to 5-man hit, they're not even going to have a chance. They're just execing into a stacked site. Paranoia, crossfire. You cannot deal with it. You cannot escape. Daybreak, please slow down. Work the map. Your exec power is so good. Your team play is so good. Your shooters are shooting and everything is going your way. But things can only go right if you want them to go right.
Indeed, and surprised a timeout still has not been called by either team.
Right, getting down to it, 10 to 11. What's it called? 1 away from series point. Daybreak 2 away from match point. Smoke goes out over towards stairs, making it obvious what Daybreak wants to do. Fatal not going to catch Abdul. Going to go unmarked on the site. Wall going to be tripped. It's too strong on this side. Mason pushing through. Abdul captures Mason. Double Visol going to be popped. Canceling each other out. Paranoia as well. But Rain finds Carp lurking through stairs. Sliz alone on B. Might just want to pop. Breakable find an easy one onto Rain unless he is aware. Fade. Door going to be popped. Still has Spike out in rubble. Prowler as well. Rain shoots. Unnecessary, but still shoots. 2 on the A site still. Paranoia going to go through as well as the flash pit. Abdul dodging and weaving through this utility. Argini as well on site. The dink through the wall finds average, but Reality gets the trade immediately. Abdul with a 3. Animated. Last one left alive. 1 versus 2. Fade going to spot him out. Immediately teleports over towards C, but cancels, and Sliz finds the kill. 1 away from sending Daybreak. What's it called?
I think Animated forgot that he realized he didn't have Spike. I think he was going to try to go C, plant Spike, and then it just didn't work out for him because he didn't have the bomb.
A little bit of a misplay, although in the heat of the moment, you can't blame him. Absolutely nothing wrong with a little bit of a misplay. However, it does look worse than it is because that is series point for what's called 1 away from sending Daybreak down to the lower bracket.
Daybreak is going to have to step it up here. They're going to have to win this one if they really want to stay.
Right. If you want to do anything against what's it called, you have to start playing smart, and that is not what they're doing right now. Animated basically isolated on this B line. Paranoia about to be used. Animated finds Sliz, but Paranoia reaction never comes. Instead, Daybreak get out alive. Inserting Rain over towards C Mound. Mason as well over towards Rubble. Taking the space. Want to push towards Abdul yet again. And Abdul is not on the stacked site. However, any site with Abdul on it is definitely dangerous. And it's a 2-man push out. Arginian penalty getting proactive. Rain. Does he read it or does he sleep at the wheel? No, he's knife out. And penalty finds the kill. Rain, what are you doing? It's not your space. Mason pushing the pace way ahead of his team. Now Abdul completely isolated on site. Reality finds the pick and A site goes to them. I gonna go down. Reality getting this plant. Penalty low HP but still has a team around him. 3 versus 3 on the A site. C's goes through. Average in trouble. Penalty gets the pick. 1 on tree, 1 on site. Carp just gonna pop this Viper's Pit. But Argini dies to animated right away. Reality also finding a pick, and it's just Carp left alive. Ult about to go down, peeking straight in, finds animated, but Reality finds the round. It's close, but no cigar, as what's it called? Could not close it out. One away from overtime. Daybreak gonna have to find this. Go big or go home against the #1 rated team coming in the playoffs. What's it called? Have looked like monsters this game, but Daybreak are no sleepers. If you can manage to find this map, you might just have a win into it. And is that a timeout? Whose timeout is that?
Oh my god. That is, what's this called? Timeout.
What's it called? Finally, calling a timeout. It's the first timeout of the series. No, Scott said it's the first timeout of the tournament, of the playoffs.
First one in playoffs is insane.
Congratulations, what's it called? That's why you're the #1 rated team coming into playoffs. However, Daybreak also going to be able to take this moment, take a deep breath, calm your nerves, calm down. It's 11-12. You still have one more chance to push it to overtime. Well, things will reset then. Economy and ult orbs. Sliz has this neon ultimate. Might be able to make use of that. Maybe something aggressive, maybe on the retake. Who knows?
Daybreak's econ is a little bit swapped around. They're doing, it seems like they're in between a half buy and a full buy between the team.
Right. Economy is super straggly here. You could kind of say the same for what's it called as well, but they can muster up a full buy, and that's all they're going to need. It's either overtime or a win for them, so you can just buy up all they want. It's not going to matter, but...
Yeah. With Daybreak, they do have Jet ult here, but in return, they have Neon ult for what's it called?
Fight coming through, animated, teleporting into rubble, gets past this utility alive. Liz on the operator, almost a whiff shot, but not quite average. Lucky to get out alive. Or still going to be found for Reality. 3 strong on the site. Daybreak, you're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to slow your roll. You're going to have to slow down and stop advancing. It's either you fall off here or you put pressure somewhere else. And finally, Mason leading the charge back into their spawn. Carp on an empty C site. Argini on an empty B site. Looks like it is a B split. It's definitely smart. Penalty rotating towards Carp and Sliz staying on that A site. Breakable going to be broken. Smoke goes out over towards Heaven. Argini forced to respect it. Paranoia not going to be expended just yet. Reality going to use this seize into Heaven. Going to find Argini. Boombot as well. Confirms what they already knew. Ray's ult expended as well. Reality using that fatal. Getting some of this Heaven space. Argini though still allowed to stay alive. Sliz retaking with the operator. Neon ult already expended. Nothing left. C is going to come through. Reality jumping into Heaven. Finds Abdul. Average finds Carp. Animated finds Sliz. And Argini puts it into a 1 versus 1. It's animated versus Argini. Controller versus controller. Stick of the defuse. Argini. Animated. You're going to have to peek. And it's animated. Animated.
Animated with the win to bring it up to overtime.
Gets the pick. Finishes the 1 versus 1 out. Bringing it to overtime for Daybreak. And this is their chance. This is the last chance you'll have if you want to avoid being sent down to the lowers early on. What's it called? It's going to be mad at themselves for losing that one. It was the easiest round that they could have had in a while. But Reality using an incredible fatal into Heaven, as well as Animated just staying alive, playing safe, making sure that he's playing smart, getting that clutch, getting overtime. This is exactly what I want to see from Daybreak. Yeah, they're just slowing the pace, deciding on a B split, knowing that there's a stack over towards Rubble, sensing that from the earlier Rubble fight. They knew that. Decision was easy. But now we're going to have to see an attacking side from what's it called that is yet again dominant. We're going to have to see something better from Daybreak as well. And yet again, Carp and Abdul walking over towards B. Find Mason alone, isolated. It's an empty B site awaiting them. However, Spike is still over towards A. Sliz and Argini are up on the A site. Average jiggling. Smoke goes down, cross map. Forces what's it called to fall off. I goes out on C. Now what's it called? Have a little bit of a read. They know what's going on. And instead of backing off, they forced to stay. They forced to fight. Rain is not good for it. Carp finds the pick, and all of a sudden, Animated and Reality left alone. Reality finds Abdul. 1 versus 1. Carp finds Reality. Last one left alive. It's Average versus the world. Here's Penalty running. Gonna hear this door being opened. Average, can he get to this door before it closes? No, he cannot. He's gonna either have to go silent back through C, or he can go through door, loud. Harp gonna get this ult down.
Spike
Hyper ult expended, basically impossible for Average. Only chance he has into it, going back around through main. Not gonna be heard just yet. However, the eye from Penalty gonna go out and clear C Hall. And now two are looking towards main. They have the read. Now, Average, you are in trouble. Flash can be expended. Missing that flash, however. And Average doesn't clear it. Penalty. First round of overtime goes to what's it called? And Daybreak yet again on the back foot. Nothing new to them. However, this is a new situation. It's match point, series point for what's it called?
Indeed, yeah. It's scary out here, going back and forth between both of the teams.
Right, it's seesawing between these two teams. Neither of them seeming to be able to close anything out. However, what's it called? Could flip that narrative if they just win this round. So it is going to be a fight from Sliz and Penalty over towards Mountain. All fight for Daybreak. Again, grouped up over towards B main, scaling down the space. I going to go out deep into C, going unbroken. What's it called? No, they have the space, but choose not to push until they're grouped together. Mason clearing these angles slowly, but he does not. Clear behind him. Cart still in heaven, left untouched. Argini finds a pick. Mason dashing out, but Rain finds two, opening this B side up, playing Savior to 2 versus 3. And Rain, alone on the B side, chooses to regroup on the A side, breaking breakable. Thorns go out, choose to go through tree instead. Thorns well in stairs from Average. Wall gonna be tripped, leaving Rain isolated. Uses his ultimate onto the site, knowing that there's likely no one onto the site. Just want to make sure he's being safe. However, might not be the best move. Nade goes into drop, clearing that little extra bit of space. Abdul and Sliz and Penalty, 3 grouped up over towards main, and they have no idea. Rain and Average both looking towards heaven. Dog gonna go out. You know where one is? Rain finds the first 3 on the board. Can he find more? Rain going nuclear. You're gonna have to find even more, but Abdul sits Rain down into 1 versus 2. Average, you've been good, but this would be too much. Half of the spike. Average finds the first, and Abdul sits him down. 5v5s. It is not good. And what's it called? Have every right to be toxic into this one. Taking the series against Daybreak, sending them down to the lowers, and what's it called? Immediately straight through the uppers, showing why they're number 1. 2-0. Daybreak have no answers.
It was a very close call between the two teams here. Very close, but no cigar. What's it called? Just is not gonna let Daybreak take it from
Right.
them.